Endeavor sighed as he entered his house at the end of a long day of work. Being the number one hero was hard work. Even if he didn't really feel like the number one hero with those gammas around. It's likely the only reason they hadn't been made number one was because the rules when it came to artificial life forms were murky. And they haven't technically been made official heroes yet. As if All Might wasn't enough, now I'm getting outdone by robots. Endeavor sighed as he closed the door behind him. Then again, given the circumstances, that's probably a good thing, much as I hate to say it. In regards to crime, saying things had gotten bad would be an understatement. Ever since Midoriya and the MLA started fighting, it triggered quirk discrimination matters to explode on all sides. Then of course there was the weakening or outright destruction of several villainous organizations, and the defeat of All for One, making a massive power vacuum that every self-deluded villain with a decent quirk thought they could fill. Add on to that, Sin was going around secretly empowering other villainous groups and even some regular people, and spurning them into action, making everything worse. Stain was still out there. His movement seemed to have only gotten louder recently. And if all that wasn't enough, All Might retired. The symbol of peace, that practically represented heroes in Japan, if not around the whole world. Meaning that heroes weren't seen as an omnipotent force, which naturally caused crime rates to skyrocket, way up. It was a mess. Not helped by Midoriya freaking out the public by doing insane shit. Of course, this further split the public into two sides. People who thought that he was a saint, and people who thought he was some kind of demon that had come to bring the end of the world. Never did I think I'd miss All Might this much. Endeavor sighed as he walked through the house, and into his room. Undressing himself, before grabbing a towel, and heading into the bathroom to take a shower. Shoto and Fuyumi have been rather quiet. Endeavor noted as he turned on the shower. I thought at least Fuyumi would have greeted me, but perhaps even she's finally run out of patience. It really wouldn't surprise him at this point. As Endeavor was thinking about his family situation, suddenly, he heard something. It was subtle, and he wasn't sure what it was exactly. But it was behind him, right where his heart would be. Whoosh! Immediately Endeavor's body burst into powerful flames, turning the water into steam, and destroying parts of the tub around him. He turned around, and for a fraction of a second, he saw a small black dot, before it faded away. And he looked down to see a piece of melted metal. A warp quirk. Endeavor's eyes widened, as he realized the danger of the situation. Shoto! Fuyumi! Before Endeavor could get out another word, another black portal opened up, and a dark gray arm stretched out and grabbed Endeavor by the face, seemingly unaffected by the flames, and pulled him in. When Endeavor went through the portal, he was taken to the front of his house. Endeavor grabbed the hand that was pulling him, and pulled it off his face, only for the hand to slip through his grip, and retreat back to its owner. A large chubby bald man, with dark gray skin. The portal that he came from shrunk into a small black disc and flew over to a man standing next to the gray villain. This man's skin was pure white, no features whatsoever, not even a face. The only things on him were spots. The black disc joined the other spots on his body, sticking right onto his face. The last villain he could see was a large burly man, with huge vacuum cleaners for arms. That villain pointed his arms at Endeavor, and immediately the vacuum activated, and started sucking up Endeavor's fire, pulling it away from the hero. But he had bigger concerns. Namely, that almost paralyzing amount of murderous intent that was behind him. Unable to counter with his fire for the moment, Endeavor had no choice but to jump to the side, avoiding a bunch of daggers that had been thrown at his back, which now headed right toward the other three villains. The spotted villain took off one of his spots and threw it in front of them, allowing the daggers to fly into it and vanish. Endeavor turned towards the source of the knives, and his eyes widened. Stain the hero killer, stepped forward. Endeavor, the day of your reckoning is at hand. Time to die. As Stain reached for more daggers, Endeavor considered his options. To say he was at a disadvantage would be an understatement. A teleporter, someone with a very tough yet extendable body that could handle his flames to a certain degree. Someone who could suck up his flames and prevent him from doing nearly anything. And Stain, whose abilities were unknown, but presumably formidable. And also there was something else. This feeling in the air was somehow familiar. I don't have any wiggle room. I need to end this fast if I want to survive. Endeavor thought. First things first, that vacuum villain. Hi-ya! Endeavor shouted as he let fire explode out from his body, in massive quantities, unleashing his full power in an instant and shrouding his body in unapproachable flames. The vacuum villain sucked in massive quantities of fire, and soon he started to sweat. His body struggled to neutralize the flames as he sucked them in, his body getting hotter and hotter, until… Whoom! Ah! The vacuum villain's arms burst into flames. Flames quickly started spreading onto the rest of his body. Endeavor quickly turned down the heat to a more manageable level. He could already feel his body heating up from using that level of heat. But he had to get rid of that guy as soon as possible, so he didn't have much of a choice. And then, in the blink of an eye, Stain was in front of him, having charged at him with inhuman speed, and now had a katana aimed right at his heart. Whoosh! Once again Endeavor turned up the heat, as Stain jabbed the katana right into his chest, ignoring the powerful flames that enveloped him, to try and kill Endeavor in one blow, only for his katana to melt against Endeavor's chest. Endeavor grabbed Stalin's arm, and turned up the heat a bit more, enveloping them both in powerful flames. That burned at Stain, incinerating all his clothes, and melting his equipment. Growling, Stain growled at the hero, giving him the meanest death glare Endeavor had ever received, which said a lot. Seemingly ignoring his burning flesh, a dark red aura started emitting from his body. This aura, it's similar to the feeling I got from All for One, Endeavor realized. Send that bastard. He must have powered him up. That would explain how he's enduring my flames this well. Slam! Stain decked Endeavor right in the face, sending him flying and crashing through the wall of his house, hitting the floor of his living room on his back. The hero killer charged in after Endeavor, and raised his fist to deliver another powerful punch down at Endeavor's head, but Endeavor moved his head to the side just in time, making Stain punch through the floorboard. Endeavor aimed his palm at Stein's face, to try and shoot him in the face with fire, only for Stain to narrowly dodge it. Endeavor was ready to shoot another blast of fire at Stain when a black portal appeared between them. The spotted villain came out of Stain's side. The Gammas are here. We need to go. Damn it. Stain swore. But he wasted no time, jumping into the portal, which quickly vanished from sight. Endeavor glared at the place where the portal had been. Part of him wanted to give chase, but that was a colossally stupid idea, given that he had no idea where the portal would have taken him. And to say he had the advantage in that fight in the first place would be an exaggeration. Hey, Endeavor! Gamma 1 and 2 flew in through the hole and took a look around. What happened here? Gamma 1 asked. Stain, Endeavor answered. He and some other villains got the jump on me, thanks to one of them having a warp quirk. That's weird. According to our database, Stain's a lone wolf. Gamma 2 pointed out. There's been cases of him even crippling people who tried to partner with him. It's not just that, Sin's enhanced his power, Endeavor revealed. And possibly even the power of his minions too. Damn it. Gamma 2 swore, stomping his foot in frustration. How the hell is he moving around without us noticing? Sin has the ability to conceal his energy, and he can hide his body inside that dragon ball of his, which is about the size of a baseball. Gamma 1 said. Finding him won't be easy. Where are Shoto and Fuyumi? Endeavor asked them. In the basement. Gamma 1 answered. Knowing their locations after scanning the house. They're unconscious but mostly unharmed. Good. Endeavor let out a small sigh of relief before getting back to business. Actually, how exactly did you know I was being attacked? The government is tracking the use of all warp quirks throughout the city. Gamma 1 explained. If there is any use of a warp quirk, we'll know. So we can track them then? Endeavor asked. According to HQ, they seem to have warped outside of the city. Gamma 1 explained. Where they're hiding now, it's outside the range of our devices. Damn. Endeavor swore. Then he was silent for a few moments, as he thought about something. Alright, if that's the case, then I have no choice. I'm moving out. Moving out? Gamma 2 questioned. What are you just gonna run away from? I'm staying in the city, but not here, Endeavor said. I can't risk continued attacks, putting my children in danger. From now on, Fuyumi and Shoto will live here on their own. That's probably for the best, Gamma 1 said. We'll ask Mr. Midoriya if we can get some added security here. Just in case. Thank you. We're doing it for them. Not you, Gamma 2 said. We still don't like you. That's fine, Endeavor said as he walked away, to go put on his clothes. It doesn't matter. Breaking news. Said a newswoman on the TV #1 hero Endeavor was attacked in his own home by Stain the hero killer and his associates. Until now the hero killer had never worked with other villains, nor did he dare attack Endeavor. However, it appears that something's changed, and now the hero killer appears to be officially taking on followers. While Endeavor was unharmed, the hero killer and his minions escaped, and their current location is unknown. How disappointing, Sin said. The monster was currently watching the news, in his lair, deep underground. Sitting on a throne made of stone. Around him were various people, working hard to transform the area around him into a castle, and moving things around. And here I was hoping to hear of Endeavor's death. Oh well. Sin cackled. Even with that power I gave him, I knew he wouldn't have enough power to beat Endeavor quite yet. I should be surprised that he even tried this early on, but given his nature, even with the slight changes I made, I suppose this was predictable. I'm just glad he hasn't gotten himself caught yet. I still have to get everything I can out of you, Stain. Hee hey. Ah ha 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 ha. Ah ha 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 ha.